Good evening, everyone. We can see that there are more than 500 parents who have joined the session. And so we are telecasting live on Facebook for those parents who are unable to join. Good evening, everyone. The meeting is now live on Facebook. For those parents who are unable to join, they can join on Facebook as well. So Rakesh sir, should we invite someone from the school to join us on the panel?
1 minute. Ma'am, Kia ma'am, are you there, ma'am?
Kiran?
Hello, Kia ma'am?
Yes, ma'am is here.
Hello, ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, ma'am is joining. Ma'am is here. Ma'am is joining. Yeah. Hello, Kia ma'am. Hello. Good evening,
1
ma'am.
minute.
Good evening, ma'am. Hello, ma'am, please unmute yourself, please. Hello, Kia ma'am, please unmute yourself, please. Ji, ma'am, please go ahead.
Hello.
Good evening, ma'am. We can hear you now. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
No, no, not that. Kia Sinha. Kia Sinha. Okay, so let's start the parent. Let's start the webinar.
Ji, ji, ji.
We are getting short of time, na?
Sure, sure. Ma'am is also here. Ji. Kia ma'am, you
yes,
can.
I'm here.
Ji, ji, ji. So with your blessing, should we start? We should
yes,
start.
please begin. Please begin.
Ji, ji.
I'll start my video too.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And
yes, that's me.
hello,
I was not actually being allowed because I think I have namesakes.
Ji. No, it is nice seeing you, and a wonderful number of parents have joined. We have over 500 parents right now, and there are more parents on the Facebook Live as well. So this is a wonderful, wonderful gathering, and we are so thankful to all the parents that they have joined for this session, which is parenting during the pandemic. Now, I would request all the parents if they can just type in few of the, if they can type in their response on what was one of the biggest challenges that they faced when children were at home during the pandemic, and the schooling was also done in the online classes or in virtual classes. So my dear parents, your responses are welcome on the chat box. If you can type in what are the challenges that some of you faced when the schooling was from home, when there was online learning and the children were also at home. Does anyone want to go ahead and respond to that? We are waiting for your responses in the chat box. Okay, so Samiksh ji is saying they have missed on the outside activities a lot. Okay, great. Yes, the first thing that is coming out from parents is that children have missed going out, and we are unable to take them out. So yes, the children have missed a lot of outdoor activities. Okay. Concentration has reduced for kids. Okay, so there is Sumak Sarkarji who's saying that children's concentration has reduced. Okay, my son is becoming very stubborn and unmindful. So there is a parent saying that children are becoming a bit stubborn. Okay, they are very bored and they are missing the school a lot. Oh, that's so cute. So children are missing the school, they are missing their teachers, they are missing the school environment, right? They are not able to concentrate. Students were unable to be managed. It is they are feeling bored. The environment, learning environment is lost. They are missing their childhood altogether. Okay, so they can't concentrate. They are not happy. It's a challenge to keep my child to sit in front of a device for so long. Discipline is not there, and so many responses. Okay, so these are wonderful things that we have here written by so many parents. Over 500 parents are expressing their responses right now. They are expressing their opinion and concern right now. So there are few things that we are able to understand from this, that parenting during the pandemic is actually, yes, more of a challenge than parenting in the normal scenario, in the normal time. So today, that's the reason, especially, we are meeting to discuss about what is effective parenting during the pandemic and how we can make sure that children, they are learning and they are fit, they are healthy. And when we talk about health and fitness, it's not just the physical health, but also we have to look at it from point of the children also. So that's the reason we are talking about positive parenting during the pandemic. Now, I know this word positive is something that we are all scared of right now. But here, yes, when we talk about positive parenting, we are, going on a path where maybe children have to be at home for 6 more months. We are not sure when there have been a lot of discussion that is going on if and when the third wave may affect the kids as well. So if there is a third wave, and if it affects the kids, and in case if the schools are, physical schools are started, then it may turn out to be a very risky situation for the parents, for children, of course, for the school too. So there is going to be the new normal is going to be for 6 more months. We will have to have the similar situation that we have from the last 1 year. So online sessions, there would be virtual classes, online sessions, and that's how it's going to continue for coming 3, 4, 5, 6 months also. We just hope that the third wave of the pandemic doesn't hit us as hard as the second wave. So the common issues that that we would discuss today, and that I'm thankful to the parents who have brought it out. So I thought before even I go one-sided into the session, we should list down the things that even parents have been facing, this situation that they have been facing at home. So there is lack of focus and concentration. That is very well accepted, that yes, when they are at home, the same kind of discipline that teachers can bring in, that a school can bring in. When children are at school, naturally, there are classroom norms, there are school rules, and they automatically they respect their teachers. They are at the school. The environment is such that automatically they follow the norms, and the discipline issues are not there. But when they are at home, of course, that same touch is not there, of course, because of the physical they are not there in the same physical space. And that's the reason we are saying that the connect is something which is necessary to be looked at, and teachers have been taking a lot of efforts to make that connect bond with the children, even in the virtual classes. Another thing that I could understand was many of us have been talking about the children being angry, the children having mood swings, which is quite natural, because when someone is in the same space at home for such a long time, naturally it is going to affect their mood swings. And so if you're saying that the kids are becoming angrier, or they lose temper, or they become sometimes they misbehave at home, these are all quite natural things, because yeah, they're still growing up and they are in the same space all the day, throughout the day. It is going to affect them. Another thing that is to be looked at is, of course, their physical activities are reduced. And when physical activities are reduced, it badly affects their bone density, their physical development, and it's not good for kids to not do any kind of physical activity at all, and for such a long time, 6 months, 1 year for that matter. And so physical activities, we have to make sure that some way or the other we continue that with the children. And the social skills, the social environment that is developed in the school, they can talk to each other, they have friends, and they have teachers to talk to. And that's the reason we would see that they don't have these issues of interaction and interaction problems or social skills. So let's focus on first things first. As a parent, the first thing that we have to take care of for the children is their physical activities. So we'll talk about health in general. So we are first saying, let us talk about body health, physical health. Now, going down the building, going outside the home is something which is challenging, and we don't want to risk the children. If they go out, and we don't know if they can come in contact with somebody. So the reason we are saying physical health is to be maintained by creating the similar environment at home itself. So starting with morning, if we could do some physical exercise with the children itself, and I would say that let parent take a lead, and we do some physical exercise in the morning itself for at least 15 minutes. So let's engage the children. These could be very simple physical exercises. We are not saying that all of us are, yoga teachers and we can all meditate or do yoga or, pick up certain things. Or no, these can be very simple physical activities, like maybe walking inside the house from one corner of the hall to the other corner of the drawing room. So these can be as simple as that, or raising your hands, hands on the side, both the legs apart, and raising your right leg first, then your left leg, and so on. So these simple exercises would make sure that the bone density of the children is not affected, and they keep their body moving, and they have these physical exercises. When they do it with the parents, of course it is going to help them. They are going to get inspired because parent is also doing it with the child. So the first thing that we would suggest is, please start your day with simple exercises for 15 minutes, and that would definitely help the children to maintain their physical health. Apart from that, immunity from viewpoint of food. Now, food intake is very critical. During the pandemic, all that we are doing is, we start our day by having the first the first break for snack or a breakfast. So we start with breakfast. By the noon, the children would have had something. They would have had something else also in the middle of the day, and then they have lunch. Again, they have an evening snack. Again, they have dinner. And so what is happening is that the food habits of children, and sometimes, in some households, we know that it becomes quite challenging for some parents to constantly, keep making something for the children. So, the kind of snack that we give them. So any food that is packaged food, any food that is oily, packaged, or we can when they have the chips packet, and we feel like, okay, in the evening, in the evening we don't feel like making something, and we just give them a chips packet, and they it's very easy to open a chips packet and have it, but it's actually affecting the kids. And so we would say that please avoid ready-made food. Please avoid packaged food. Please do not, allow the children to have any food that is junk food. Yes, if the simple exercising is not possible for 15 minutes in the morning, you can make it as a evening routine as well. So some parent has been asking us if we can't do physical exercise in the morning, can we do it in the evening? So yes, we can do it in the evening too, but we have to make sure that in the food habits, we avoid junk food altogether. And if there is any special favorite of the child, please try to give that once a week. Try to make some, if it is spicy food, or if it is food that involves a lot of sweet or a lot of spices, keep it as once a week. That would be the best possible course, because without any physical activities, if they keep eating the daily routine food that we used to have during the non-pandemic area, during the non-pandemic situation, then they would end up being obese. So obesity is one common issue that many parents have been complaining from last 3, 4, 5, 6 months, that kids are facing the obesity issues. They are becoming couch potato. And so it's very necessary for us to make sure that the food we prefer for children is light food, especially at night. Make sure that they have, some boiled vegetables or green vegetables. And those are the things that are good for their health. We know that very well, but we are trying to reiterate it, that during the pandemic, it's very important to take care of the food habits of the children. They end up being obese, a bit of a couch potato. They end up being a bit lazy, and so we don't want to risk their body health. We don't want to risk them being obese and create a long-term issues. Now, apart from physical health, mental health of the child is also very important. So we suggest that though children cannot meet in the same way as they do at school, but if there are some kids who stay around each other, please once in a week, try to arrange their play date. and they can come together at one kid's house, very necessary. So when they come together, make sure that they sanitize their hands, make sure that they understand how they have to keep physical distance, they have to wear the mask, have physical distance. All this we have to train our kids. So it cannot be that, all of a sudden someday when the children go to school and, the school would have to teach them or tell them about the physical distancing or sanitizing or wearing masks. No, this is something we have to, make our children understand how, when they are with their friends when they are playing together, they need to still keep washing hands, sanitize their hands, how to use sanitizer, when to, not physical touch is something that has to be reduced. And these are certain things we have to train our children right now itself. So in a way, they should now itself understand that how the social life is going to be. Even when they go out and whenever there is physical school starts, they should know in advance itself that these are certain things that we have to do it regularly. And perhaps it would be difficult for the school to take responsibility of 2, 3, 4, 5,000 kids at a time at school, even if we work on odd even way. So very necessary that right now itself, else kids may end up being sad, or they may have a lot of mood swings later on also. Right now they are not able to meet their friends, so why don't we arrange a play date, let them meet once a week? And we are suggesting not every day, but we are suggesting, yes, once a week at least they should be able to physically meet their friends. Let them sanitize, wash hands, maintain physical distance, and play and use sanitizer and wash hands in a very proper way. So once a week, let them sit together with their friends. Peer group is very necessary for the kids. Their social skills are as important, else it is going to affect their mental health. Now, if the child is getting too angry, or cries on small issues, or becomes is being a rebel in many situations. I won't do this, I won't eat this, mama, I won't do that, papa. So if those kind of issues we are facing now, when they are not able to exercise the routine that they have been trained for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years altogether, so it is going to impact the children, and it is little difficult for children to understand all this in a time span that is for us a long time, but for kids it has been a time which is huge, very long time. And so that's the reason we are suggesting that whenever you you see the child having mood swings, a better thing to do would be to play with them some sort of focus games, focus activities, and the parent should take a lead, ask the child, and if in case there is a need, please try to play with them some sort of focus games, some sort of even sitting in one posture, and simply breathing in and breathing out activity would also be wonderful. So breathing in, breathing out activity would be wonderful. When we talk about focus games, we are saying an easiest focus game is that you take some 3, 4 types of pulses and mix them and give it to the child. Let them, the mixed pulses, let them put it on the ground, put it on the floor, and try to separate each type of the pulses, each type of dal, and that can help improve the child's, focus, concentration, and they would not feel worked up, they would not feel angry. There, this kind of the rebel issue that we are facing with the kids, we have to do something about their mood swings. Half the job would be done if we, improve their food intake. We always say that you always become what you eat. So food habits, changing food habits would definitely have an impact on the, having a proper thought process, and making sure that they do not have, when they are not having very spicy food, or when they are not having junk food, it of course doesn't bring in aggressive emotions, but it's very necessary that we take care of their food habits and do a little bit of breathing in and breathing out activity with the children itself for 5 minutes in the evening. So we start with physical activities, and then we say there is something necessary for their being able to take in the wonderful fresh breath of air, let the oxygen reach the entire body, and thoughts will get refined. And definitely it would help the children to get refined thoughts, and they would not get these aggressive emotions. We call it as rhythmic breathing. Now we are saying let them sit with their back straight and do the breathe in, breathe out, the rhythmic breathing on count of 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, take a deep breath in. 2, hold it. 3, slowly breathe out. And 4, forcefully breathe out. So this simple 1, 2, 3, 4 based rhythmic breathing would help the children to calm down, be positive, and also understand that the family is also trying to stay positive and think positive and be calm, and patience. These are the things that we have to stick to these days, very necessary. Along with that, we are saying have a kitchen garden or have a small few plants in your veranda, in your balcony. So children love natural environment. And now if you're unable, if you live in a cemented cemented jungle, as we say, so better thing would be to create a small garden. Maybe a few plants in your balcony, in your veranda would help. And let us give children the responsibility of watering these plants, and this responsibility actually keeps them engaged. And make sure that when you give them this responsibility for watering the plants, also engage them in some of the house chores. So some house chores, they should be done with the help of children themselves. Now these cannot be huge house chores, but they can be very simple ones, like just taking your dishes and putting it in the sink after you have had your food, or helping mama to fold the clothes. They may not fold it correctly, but they're just involved, and they understand the necessity of being involved in household chores at work. Also, they feel part of the daily routine that is going on in the home, and they won't get worked up, they won't get disconnected, they won't feel like, oh, why is it happening that I'm just sitting the entire time in front of television or in front of my phone trying to attend these sessions. So that is necessary to keep changing their bringing in something new for their thoughts and changing their mood, keeping their mental health, social skills. Let them interact, talk to you. I would say, I would go ahead and say that for mental health, very important that we have one-time food together. So at least once in a day, the entire family should sit together and have food once a day, having food together. So either dinner or lunch, but many of the one of the parent is usually there or not there during lunchtime. So there's a necessity that one time food all of us have together, father, mother, children, if there are elders in the house, everybody sitting together, and then making sure that when you're having food, it shouldn't be that the television is on. So no television, no mobile. Papa bhi nahi, mummy bhi nahi, nobody can have their mobile. Or it happens like, okay, we are having our food, but still looking at the mobile. There's no conversation at all. Please talk to your children, talk to them. What did they do today? Not necessarily all the times we discuss with children about what did the teacher teach you today, were you paying attention in the class or not. Those are also things to talk about. Of course, you can talk about that, but generally also please talk to them about making sure that they have that need fulfilled, because at a school they talk to their friends so much. So at school they talk to their friends, they mix up with them, there's a bond, there's friendship. So making them talk to their friends and talking to them during one time food activity would also be a wonderful way out. And that's what we are suggesting for all the parents, to make sure that the kids get the right amount of social skills, mental health is maintained, physical health is maintained. And then definitely we have to talk about the indiscipline issue that many parents have been showing concern about, and the technology, use of technology. So we know in the last 1 year, the kind of use of technology that kids have been doing, that kids have been engaged with, exposed to, is quite a lot. I mean, so there is a need right now to have technology rules. The rules are about the maximum time that the child can use their phone, if we give them the phone. So we have to make a rule on the maximum screen time. And even when they are engaged or involved in screen time, we have to make sure that we have some sort of child enabled, so we say child lock enabled, because otherwise you would find that kids may even indirectly or without even knowing themselves, inadvertently, they may get, on certain websites. The internet is not that very safe place for the kids these days. So it's very necessary that you have a child lock some apps which you feel the children should not access to. Please make sure that children, if they download games, the games also, the game apps also ask for a lot of app permissions. So please go to the settings of your Android phone. In each app, there is a setting by which you can choose which information and what kind of data you want to share with this app. Because many apps these days, mobile applications that are of games, or even many mobile applications that have got this privacy they do not take care of, there you have to be very careful and just go to every app which the child is using and check what are the app permissions given to that particular app. Now, why does a games app need to make phone call from your phone or read your SMS or something else for that matter? So please make sure that cyber safety is one very important issue. We should talk about this to children, that they should not upload their pictures anywhere on social media. We know that kids below the age of 13 should not be on social media. Or even use WhatsApp. But yes, we allow kids to, communicate with their friends on WhatsApp, or even use phone, or, they are playing games. So necessary that we discuss with them a little bit about cyber safety. One, that they should not share their photo. They should not tag any location. So please tell them to not share their location with anyone. Sometimes kids just check in that, oh, I am at this place, or this is our home address, or so those things, the location should not be shared. Cyber safety is the way things have changed. Of course, there are new ways that have been invented for committing crime too. So please make sure that kids know about it. They whenever any website asks for some sort of code or OTP, or asks for some banking transaction, if the kids have phone with them and there is no adult around them, do not answer calls on your own. The call should be answered with the help of parents only. If the parent is not there with them, the parent is not at home, the kid shouldn't answer the phone call, because sometimes kids, tend to say also, okay, mama is not there at home. And that may trigger something we don't know. So that's the reason we are saying that let us train our children, because this is the technology area, and technology is new for India. I mean, for all of us in India, digital India is completely new. I mean, the way we use phones and laptops and, a lot of devices, mobile device and other tablet. And so the digital devices that we keep using, make sure that children are little bit informed about what to do and what not to do on their phone or on their digital device. That is very necessary to train them for. And that would help us all also to make sure that kids understand that we don't have to get addicted with phone. So this phone addiction, this being addicted to phone is something that many of us have been, facing as parents, that this addiction is for real. So what would we suggest is, if you find that your children are addicted to phone, the first thing is, please decide that the child would get the mobile device only. They can use the mobile device only in supervision of the parent. And also they would get to use their mobile device only if they finish their task, if they finish their schoolwork, if they finish their home task, homework, schoolwork, they finish their task, and only then you would allow them to use their phone, use a phone basically. That's very necessary. So let us use a mix of rewards and motivational rewards, and let us use this system wherein they can have or have their favorite should I say food, or they could have their mobile phone for 30 minutes, and they can watch television for 2 hours maximum in a day. This maximum screen time and the reward system at home would work very well. So very necessary that we do have some reward system. If your child is scoring something good in a test, or the teacher is appreciating them, make sure that you have their pictures, take a copy of their mark sheets. So kindly take a Xerox of their mark sheet, their wonderful work, where they have got some compliments by the teacher that this is perfect, this is wonderful. Take a Xerox of it, get it framed, and keep it in the house. And that way, the kids also understand that the kind of bond they have with the parent, it is something that they have to cherish, and they feel good about the parent taking one step ahead and framing their the compliments that the child has received from their teachers. And that's a wonderful way to make a bond with our kids for a long time, for a lifetime. So here we have if we have some questions here, we can definitely put it in the chat box. I can see some questions already there. I think screen time, we have addressed this issue, that the screen time has increased. We need to have a rule on maximum screen time. And I would suggest that after the online classes, once, if the child is sitting for online classes for suppose 2 hours, 2 hours is the online classes, or 3 hours maximum, 2, 3, 4 hours online classes, apart from the school being online, apart from the online classes, maximum a child should get their mobile device for games or any other use only for 1 hour. And there also, please make sure that the kind of access that they have given to the various apps that they have downloaded, please check the app permissions. Take away those permissions that are that games app can take a photo from the phone. I mean, why would they need that? Why would a game app need permission to camera? Why would the game app need permission to make a phone call or read your SMS? Or so make sure that the app permissions are secure, and that would definitely help us all to maintain cyber safety and have a discipline. Somebody is asking me, ma'am, how much time can we allow the kids to sit in front of TV? So I would say for television also, maximum 2 hours of television in a day. And if you can give a break, actually, that 1 hour of television, maybe during the afternoon or after their school work is complete, after online school is complete, and 1 hour in the evening, that would be the best way out. We can also go ahead and make sure that in the reward system itself, every night children go to bed before bedtime. We sit with them and let them tell some story, let them share some story with you, or you share some stories with them. Or if you have some elders in the house, like granny, grandpa, let them tell them the bedtime, actually. So before the child goes to bed, 20-30 minutes before the child goes to bed, we shouldn't be watching television, actually. Or we shouldn't, I would request parents that they shouldn't be fighting before the child goes to bed, because the child goes to bed with a lot of thoughts. And those, then, while they are sleeping, the thoughts keep going across their head. And then that's the reason they have, either dreams or nightmares. So 15-30 minutes before the child goes to sleep, try to make it, very inspiring, motivational, because whatever they are doing 30 minutes before they go to sleep is what they would be thinking about. Their subconscious brain would keep developing that in their brain, in that the thoughts would be either dreams or nightmares. Let us not do that with the kids. G. How to improve writing skills or writing speed? That's a wonderful question. And for that, I would say that, there are a lot of supplemental programs these days. And there you get a lot of worksheet based programs. So if there are, some additional workbooks or some additional worksheets, please go ahead on our own. There are a lot of workbooks and worksheets that are available these days. Let us take this as, because the way that, kids have now been trained, homeschooled, and being at home and attending the sessions here itself, it is going to impact them. It is going to, of course, impact their writing skills. So we have to encourage them. Sometimes you can involve the teacher too of the child. You can involve the teacher too of the child, and make sure that they do some sort of writing practice. The kids, if they have a hobby, a better reward would be that, the children, if they have a hobby, that hobby can be anything. They love doing some sport, they love performing some sport, or maybe they like drawing, painting, or they like writing. There are kids these days who maintain a journal. Definitely helping them to have a hobby and maintain this good habit, this good hobby, is something that we can all definitely yes, you can all definitely keep them engaged. Their interest should be addressed to by encouraging them to continue with their hobby. Is there any? Yes, I would say the best way for handwriting or improving their writing skills is actually helping the child to get access to material where they are able to write. And one of such techniques, one of this is, so there are some children, there are some parents who are saying that my children are not able to still, pay attention, or they have had been facing a lot of loss in learning. So what I can do is, because this question is coming again and again about loss in learning, and parents are quite concerned about the loss of learning in children. So what we could do is we could just introduce you to, and again, parents have been asking if we can help the children improve the writing skills, and the child should be able to practice what they are learning in school. So yes, let me go ahead and show you a short video that perhaps would be useful for many of us. Let's share this video with everybody.
Did you all understand this concept? It is very crucial that you understand this. Are you sure you have no questions?
How was the class today, Rahul? You weren't paying attention.
It was fine.
Really? What did you learn today?
Can anyone explain the relationship between fractions and decimals? I taught you guys these concepts in detail during the lockdown. We have so many more chapters to cover before your exams. We don't have enough time for this. Please revise these concepts at home.
I don't understand anything in maths. What do I do?
Did your kids miss out on quality education during the lockdown? Do they need to brush up concepts? Are you wondering how you can help them? Look no further. We bring to you Essentials. The package includes 700 plus comprehensive lesson videos, over 2,500 concept-based worksheets, and pre-assessments and post-assessments with 50 questions per test. Learn everything you need to know in just 2 months. Get the Essentials package today.
Right. So this is something which Ratna Sagar has been trying to help out the parents who have been constantly facing these, they have been facing, having concerns about the writing part, the practice part. And that's the reason we are sharing with you. I mean, because there were so many questions and I instantly thought of that we have something to help the parents. Of course, it's a duty to help the parents with practice, with writing skills of the child. And this is something which will help us all. You can explore the Essentials, definitely the Essentials package. It is at a very affordable cost. It's a wonderful package that has got 2,500 worksheets overall, and for per subject there are some 160 worksheets. It maps the curriculum that the school has, all these schools have, and that would definitely bring some change. It would help them revise the concepts. It will help them do the writing practice. So what are we waiting for? Let us go ahead and explore Essentials. I would even request Rakesh ji if he can just put his contact details, and we'll share it with the parents too, in case they want to talk about the Essentials package with you, sir, Rakesh sir, then they can definitely contact you. And that is one way out that I could instantly think of, that, how we can help the parents, or how we can help the kids basically to write well, to practice well. So it is from grade 1 to 5, of course. And I'm pretty sure that like many parents, they are saying, I have a 6-year-old child, I have a 5-year-old child, and this is the first time they went to school, but they were not able to write, and their writing part, they are worried about their writing part. So yes, we have this, we have specially designed this package, and it is for the parents basically. It's essentially for the parents. The name itself says Essentials. So we can make use of it. Apart from, so I can see Rakesh ji has put his phone number. Yes, apart from it, any other doubts, queries, parents, please ask doubts, queries. So a major question that we have been getting from quite a long time is writing skills, writing skills, writing skills. So essentials is your answer to practice and writing. G. Any other queries, any other doubts, parents? You can please type in the chat box also. There are some questions in the Q&A box too, but I can see we have answered most of them. We have answered children, they have bad mood swings, they are stubborn. Yeah, I guess we have answered many questions we have answered already. Yeah. Lovely. So yeah, ma'am, I
Can
would.
I say? Can I suggest?
Yes.
This is one thing which I feel would be very helpful. Ma'am, you have talked about the bonding part with the parents, the talk time together, the meal time together. And I feel these days, parents also need a lot of relaxation and recreation, which they are not able to get. So as it is, they are working from home. So we have a lot of interesting indoor games like Ludo and chess. This helps the little children. First of all, with while they are playing with the children, children while playing with the parents, and similarly, that in the process also helps them to learn a lot. So all those mood swings and stubbornness, indiscipline, so that also can go, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. You said a wonderful thing that we have so many indoor games options too to keep the kids also engaged. And we are also, sitting at home and working from home. Of course, this is a wonderful thing. This is something that can help. This can definitely help us all. Somebody has written, should mother be an educator in at house or should father be the educator? I would say mother being an educator or father being an educator, basically the role of an educator, they both would be able to equally fulfill the role of an educator, but the kind of emotions and attachment that different children have with their parents, some of them are more attached to mother, some of them are more attached to father, some of them are attached to both the parents. So perhaps that is something which we would say equally you can divide the kids education part equally between the two of you. So mother doing some part and father also helping. Sometimes father can help in maths, mom can help in English. Can be definitely can be done. For increasing their English speaking, I would suggest that we make sure that sometimes we have a conversation in English. Sometimes we also, as a parent, Balehi, as a parent, maybe I may not be able to speak English very well, but I can try using some words, and somehow perhaps the child would also be encouraged to speak English. If you want them to speak in English at home, then you will have to sometimes use some words here and there. As it is these days, it is English or mixed language that we have around ourselves. But yes, we can definitely, when we speak some words, and they would definitely have more contribution from their side. Like few simple things that we suggested for improving child's concentration is, some word puzzles. One, I think the word puzzles help children a lot. They help children to focus and concentrate. The second thing, as we said, some game like mixing up the pulses and telling them to separate, that is also good. Helping them to read. So gone are the days when we used to get book as a gift. These days, nobody wants a book as a gift. I'm so surprised. So please help your child to read. Reading is something which helps children a lot. It even helps their imagination. So I would suggest, giving them maybe some picture story book, and then later giving them some more book and books, and getting this reading habit into them. Yeah. Wonderful. So these are, I think, yes, ma'am. Should we conclude? We would conclude the session.
Yes. Rakesh.
So this has been a excellent session, Shreya ma'am.